Good morning, everyone, and welcome into Rounding the Bases live, presented by Enterprise Bank and Trust. Hashtag no stopping you. Happy Monday. Hope you had a great weekend. And if you're here in Kansas City, my guess is that you thoroughly enjoyed that Chiefs game yesterday. Wasn't that a lot of fun? Baseball-wise, not as much of a fun weekend as the Royals got swept. I don't know if I need to update all these things at the start of the show, but it's kind of what happened for my weekend. Whatever it is, whether you like sports or not, no matter what you did, whether you're here in Kansas City or somewhere else, hope that you enjoyed it. Couple of shout outs real quick. Of course, Enterprise Bank and Trust, hashtag no stopping you, my partnership with them, and also KCAV.com, KCAV, Kansas City Audio Visual. If you've got audio and visual needs, something as small as a podcast studio or something as large as any sized office, give them a shout. You can check them out at KCAV.com, or you can just check in with me and I'll make sure to make that connection. So hope you will take a look at them if you've got a need. Last thing, I'm doing the Big Brothers Big Sisters Most Wanted campaign. I'll keep throwing this out there every single day. So if you want to make a donation, the smallest of donations, it's amazing. They keep coming in, these little ones. You can text JGold to 44321. Speaking of amazing causes, my friend Chase McAnulty, who you know from Charlie Hustle, I wore the Charlie Hustle shirt just for him. Not that I don't wear it on days when I don't see him, because who doesn't have a ton of Charlie Hustle gear? The founder of Charlie Hustle, Chase McAnulty. We could just come on and talk about business pivots and pandemic, which we did, I don't know, maybe back in April or something like that. But you got a huge, amazing cause going on right now. Chase, how are you on this post-Chiefs Monday morning?
I'm doing well, man. Yeah, what a crazy game. I mean, that was 3 50-yard field goals in a row. I mean, I was sitting there like, how? I mean, he can't do this 3 times in a row. This is so the storylines just keep continuing there. But I'm doing good, man. I'm doing really good. Just hanging out.
Just hanging out and a lot going on. And I'm not surprised by this at all, because, you know, you've had so much success with your business, and I know that's never enough. I mean that in a way of giving back, not in a way of being greedy. And I know even during the pandemic, you were scratching and clawing like everyone else to keep your people employed, to make an impact, to help with masks and different things. Who doesn't have a Charlie Hustle mask now, by the way, walking around town? But this is something bigger. This is something deeper. So tell me about OneK for KC and what you've been kicking off, because, and this isn't like a quick little thing here. There's a lot going on with major impact. So let's start with that. Tell me about OneK for KC.
Yeah. I think we wanted to start a foundation, and we launched that earlier this year, just because, the Heart of KC, nice shirt, by the way, the Heart of KC, it's meant a lot to this city. It's got a rich history with, the Kansas City Monarchs and the Plaza Light Poles, and just being in the heartland. But we knew it could do a lot more good than just selling T-shirts. So that was the purpose of, kind of building a foundation to, we had a lot of great resources that we've established over the years, and a great platform to really help a lot of people and utilize that KC Heart to intentionally mean more and do more for this city. So that's kind of what we've done. And, I heard a story of a mother that had 3 kids, $54 to her name, didn't know how she was going to pay rent this month, was asking her mom. Besides the point, I think there's a lot of stories out there like this, and there's a lot of people struggling with this pandemic. And so OneK for KC was kind of the idea. I was researching, what's the rental rate in Kansas City? It's $1,000 a month. And I just thought, we can help a lot of these people during this holiday season. So that's what we're doing with OneK4KC.org.
And I mean, it's amazing. And I think, and you fill in the blanks here for me, but I think it's as simple, nothing simple, but as saying, look, we want you to be able to continue living in your house. We want you to be able to continue to be able to keep the lights on or the heat on. And of course, as you start getting towards that holiday season, maybe they can't buy presents, or maybe it's cold in there and you're having to work double shifts, right? I mean, this is so much of what so many of us never think about. We think about it in terms of, oh man, I'm not going to be able to get this fun fill in the blank Apple device, or whatever it is. And we're literally talking about families that are just trying to make sure they have enough power to get through the night.
Yeah, and there's a lot of great organizations that handle in this work, especially just going through the research. And we make T-shirts. I've learned more about the housing industry in the last 2 months than I ever knew. But there's organizations that handle utilities and deal in this kind of relief. We just thought this could be a really cool campaign. We have a platform to use. I think not only is there a lot of people that need help, but I think there's a lot of organizations out there right now that are trying to figure out how to help, where to put their money, make sure it's going to the right places, and they're supporting maybe what their organizational efforts are. But I think the fundraising money is tough right now. So we've created kind of a really low entry point into helping a lot of people. So essentially what we're asking is, you can go online at onekforkc.org. You can nominate families that you think are in need. You can nominate yourself. And there's some criteria, guidelines you can go through to make sure you're qualified. And then we're asking organizations, companies to sponsor families. So we're asking them to commit to $1K for 3 months. And then we have this whole kind of fun corporate challenge thing going on where some companies are challenging others and just trying to create this, storm of this viral campaign, if you will. But if you don't want to commit to the 3K, you can also go online and just simply donate and help. And all those funds will go to support families. And we're just trying to help as many families as we can. And that's it,
Well, I mean, I'll get back to just the fact that for those of us that are fortunate, and look, I've said this over and over again for the last 5 months or whatever, 6 months of this pandemic, everybody's dealing with stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody and I've said it from someone that's a billionaire, and I know it's hard to feel sorry for someone that has all the money in the world, but maybe they're dealing with the business and employees and health and everything. Like, everybody's dealing with something. And so I think, and I hope that has made us more empathetic. And as well as I do, these are challenging times across this country where the empathy gene at times seems to be lacking. But I think that we all can understand the importance of being able to turn the lights on at night. And I was visiting with an executive the other day who grew up in a neighborhood where you struggled to pay those bills. At least he did. I mean, mom working multiple jobs and getting those slips in the mail saying that the heat was being turned off and whatever. And you think about the kids that are studying virtually right now. Oh, yeah. And maybe they don't have the same internet that everybody else has.
Maybe they don't have
it. Maybe they don't have internet. Yeah. And you start wondering, well, how have we gotten to this point, and why are there disadvantages to kids that have no say in this? And so I think this can make such an impact. How did the idea come up, Chase? And how long has it been in the works?
It's interesting. I was actually kind of taking a break at the in-laws' house. We were in Omaha, Nebraska. That's where my wife is from. We have a new baby. She'll be a year this next month, but we don't have a lot of family around. So my wife needed some sleep. We went up to see the in-laws, and like I said, I heard a story of a mother that needed help. and all these other things, you know, where my mind started to go of like, what can be done here? How can we pay somebody's rent? How can we pay a lot of people's rent? And I simply put, I sent a text to the lady that kind of I've chosen to head our organization. I said, what do you think about this idea? And she's got a lot of great resources in this, you know, kind of the nonprofit realm. And she said, it's brilliant. Let's do it. Let's go figure it out. So really, we've had about 2 months up until launch, which was last Tuesday, to really prepare for this campaign. And there's so many little nuances. You know, first of all, MBB, the creative agency, they've done an amazing job of just bringing the creative to life. And you know, you could see all that on OneK for KC.org. They really helped tell the story. So we're really thankful for them. And then it got into, you know, how are you going to deal with the W-9s, the 1099s for these families? Are you going to be paying it straight to these families, or how do you get the mortgage lenders and you know, landlords involved to make sure that is exactly where the money is going? And then how do you handle all these nominations? And that's where we teamed up with the Chess Inc. organization. They do a lot of work in this area all year round. They have grants for, you know, funding with housing and utilities, and they have a whole streamlined process. I didn't even know about them, you know, until we know we needed it. And you know, I know this is enterprise sponsored here, but Community America came in big for us and helped us with a lot of those connections. They've chosen to sponsor several families. So that was kind of the team of resources we were utilizing. And, you know, it's pretty cool to see just an idea from 2 months ago come to fruition and really land the way it needs to. And yeah, I just think in the end, what I've learned, you know, we have an opportunity to do some good, and it's easy to have the ideas to do it, but it's challenging to act on those ideas. And you know, I think my generation needs to do more of that. We all need to do more of that, just kind of acting on the ideas and helping others. And this time, if anything, I think shows that we have to do more. And I'm not, you know, Robin Hood or Superman. I'm just somebody that, you know, is taking some action on something that can help some people, and that's it. I don't need credit for it. I just I think it's the right thing to do.
Well, it is, and I think that, you know, you've also, what you come to learn is that you have a platform. Like,
Yeah.
I've come to understand that too. And of course, I always knew that people were watching, and certainly as 2014 and 15 happened, more people were watching. And you could just tell by what happened when you went out in public, when I went out in public. I'm sure it was the same for you in the sense. And of course, you never lived the, you know, the public eye life like I had being on TV until you started to, because now it is not uncommon to see Chase pop up, say, on a Fox 4 this morning. And certainly at the minimum, anywhere you go in town, you see this logo. And so I know that there was a point, and maybe it was after the World Series and Paul Rudd and starting to see all this popping up everywhere, that everyone knew the Charlie Hustle name. So I'm guessing that along the way, in the same way, like when you started, you didn't know that everything was going to blow up the way you did for business. You had hopes, obviously. And I'm sure you didn't sit there and think that Charlie Hustle will be a household name in Kansas City. But now it's got to be a pretty powerful and humbling too feeling to know what you could do with that name.
Yeah. And I think anytime you start something, you have to have a vision to get to where you're going. So there's, you know, I think there was certainly goals to hit along the way of, you know, where do you want to be with this thing? But the Casey Hart was really our 16th out of 16 designs that we launched. I think I mentioned that last time. And we thought, I was doing different sports, nickname tees. Like we even had a New York Sack Exchange t-shirt or Southside Hitman, like the old White Sox, but it didn't really make sense. It was what I wanted to do, but the KC Heart became the thing that drove our business. It was, we thought it could be this fun civic pride, idea. And little did we know it would make us pivot. My original idea of just making awesome vintage sports t-shirts, into really this, civic company. And now it's evolved into, that platform you've talked about. We have kind of a duty to use it for good. So, and I think if brands aren't thinking that way these days, and many are, but if you're not thinking this way, you don't have a growth strategy. That needs to be incorporated. How are you helping the rest of the world be better? Or just simply your community, because that's where it all starts. And there's a lot of little companies like mine, or ours in different local markets that some are helping their community, some aren't. But I think it's a lot better to do so.
How much clarity have you had, not to dig too deep here, but when you and I last did this podcast, I could look it up. I think it was probably April. I don't remember. What I remember is, and I'm speaking for you, this is wrong, but I just remember at least one guy, if not two, that were really trying to find their way. I definitely was. And you were filled with so much optimism and hope, doing the right thing, quoting Jackie Robinson, and just figuring out a way to continue to contribute even within the community, and understand that maybe we can't sell what we were doing before. So how have these recent months gone for you, and how, if at all, has your perspective changed?
What a great question. I think, the biggest thing for me, my first perspective change was, my mother passed away of cancer about 6 years ago, and she was a huge advocate of mine. Was one of the first designers at Gear for Sports. Really helped build that department. But and she kind of guided me to doing this. You turn it into this new perspective. I think building that business, I had a perspective of like, I got one life to live here. I know time is short. Time is short with loved ones, family, friends. Let's go do something that, we could be proud of, and let's not stop. Get into it with a vigorous, a mindset that you will succeed and nothing can stop you. And I think a lot of people struggle with naysayers, or just like thinking too much about what other people think. And it's just so irrelevant in the grand scheme. But I think what's important in success is that you turn it over and find a way to give it back, whether it's supporting other young entrepreneurs, whether it's helping your community. And I think this pandemic really just called for, we sat around a table in March, and it really became about our philanthropic efforts for 2020. There's a lot of people suffering. We don't really know what's going to happen for our business. It's pretty uncertain, but we can't just sit here and watch it, watch things happen. We got to make things happen. And so that's what we did. I think this year has been about making things happen. You brought up Jackie Robinson, and that quote is like, it's perfect. It's, a life is not important except in the impact it has on other lives. This is such a crazy time where that perspective really rings a bell. And I think we've sat here for too long, thinking about maybe ourselves. That's what this time has kind of allowed me to do, is just like get out of my own box, get out of my own focus, and go see how, what I've established, what we've done can help. And it can't change the world, but I think it can. We all together can make a huge difference.
Well, I was thinking yesterday, I saw a beautiful article, Playerstribune, written by Matthew Stafford, and it was all about racial justice. I don't know if you saw. I mean, it was like, I just wish that we would listen to each other a little bit more, just a little, maybe a lot would be even better. But just to try to walk in someone else's shoes. That's essentially what you're doing. Because I'm guessing too with this, that as these families are chosen, you're in some form or another going to get to know these families, right? I mean, I'm hoping, and I don't want to put words in your mouth here either, but you tell me, that there should be some really beautiful stories to tell here too. Not in a look at what we did way, but I think in a way of saying, look, this is real. These are real families with real challenges that are trying to do amazing things, and there are ways to help, and they're representative of so many other families too. I would think that there's a really beautiful storytelling opportunity here.
Absolutely. Like I've said, we've already received about 300 plus nominations. We had 200 plus before we even launched the website.
Wow.
Or marketed the website to the general public. So we knew we were really going to need that financial support. We need the organizations to come get involved. We need other people to donate. But there's some amazing stories, and that's what it was all about. It was that mother with 3 kids. It was just everyday people that lost their jobs, or have never been in this situation before, or people that are in this situation often. That's what it's all about. And we've done a good job of kind of keeping those stories, we'll keep them private for the most part, but there's going to be some that rise to the top. There's going to be chances to share those stories. We haven't gotten fully into all those nominations. I think we're going to sit there and do it all at once, and just kind of, we have a nice system through the Chess Inc. has really helped organize this for us to make it make sense, because you could get nominations from anywhere and everywhere. So we're just trying to make sense of it. But you're right, like that's the beauty of it. It's the storytelling. It's that's what we built Charlie Hustle on, was the storytelling, just with T-shirts. Now we have a different way to do it, and OneK for TC.
Yeah, I mean, and there's a privacy end of things too. So I'm not trying to, for anybody that's watching, say, hey, if you end up being involved in this and you end up being chosen, your name is going to be on the front page of. But I do think that there's so many lessons to be learned here, whether it's a name involved or not a name involved, that this is real, and that people are going to get a chance to see that. So real quick before we wrap it up, in case everybody doesn't know, charliehustle.com. You're looking for great stuff like this and a million other designs. That's the place to go. I shouldn't need to tell anyone that, but I want to make sure that everybody knows. And then I think more importantly for the moment, OneK4KC.org. As you said before, Chase, people can donate in different ways. It doesn't have to be that $1,000 per month. Obviously, that would help, but anyone can get involved to make an impact here, right?
Anybody can get involved. You can go nominate families. We're looking for companies to sponsor families. There's a few companies that have already stepped up in a big way with 3, 4, 5 families. Peter Maloke, he's over at Creative Planning. They're getting involved. Pro Athlete, a lot of organizations are stepping up here. But then to the general public, organizations challenging their internal teams, family, friends. We're just looking for people to help spread the word and donate, whether it's $25, $50, $100. We all have that, and we all can can help impact our community really in a direct way this holiday season, so people can focus on, groceries, Christmas presents, or simply just having a roof over their heads. So that's what we're trying to accomplish.
All right. OneK for KC.org. Chase McAnulty is the founder of Charlie Hustle, also my friend. I'm proud to call you a friend. Continued great work to you and everyone over at Charlie Hustle and OneK for KC. And now go and be elsewhere, because I know that you are in demand. It's good. The more exposure, the better. Let's see what we can do, and anything I can do to help out, obviously, let me know. But Chase, thanks for doing it. Have a great day, a great week, and keep it up.
I appreciate it, Joel. Thanks for allowing me to share the message.
You have an open invite anytime. Hey, I invited you, but but the invitation is always there any day of the week. So thanks, Chase.
Right on, brother. Take care.
All right, talk to you. Great stuff from Chase McAnulty, and he's jumping from different events and appearances to help promote this absolutely amazing cause. So I appreciate everyone for watching this morning. OneK for KC.org. I'm back with another episode tomorrow. Of course, huge thanks to KCAV.com for the setup here. If you've got audio visual needs, check them out, or I'm happy to make the connection for you. KCAV.com. And to Enterprise Bank and Trust, #no stopping you. Appreciate their partnership as always. Have a great Monday, everybody, and see you back here tomorrow.